Hello and welcome to the channel. The Trade Union Congress TUC has given the President Tinubu-led government 2 weeks to conclude negotiation with Labour as regards the removal of fuel subsidy or face possible strike action by Nigerian workers. Recall that the government had been in negotiation with the NLC on TUC until seemingly backtracking by planning palliative measures of 8,000 naira to vulnerable Nigerians without consulting the union. Apparently fed up with the handling of talks, continue with planned talk on the way forward or we go on strike in 2 weeks. Seems to be the message now. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Fuel subsidy removal. TUC gives federal government 2 weeks ultimatum over negotiation. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, yesterday gave the federal government a 2-week ultimatum to conclude negotiations or face workers' protest. TUC threatened that if after August 19 nothing tangible was concluded, it will be forced to take further action to protect members and the masses from unending hardship. Briefing journalists in Abuja, the TUC president, Festus Osifo, among others, said, "As of today, we have formed technical committees on cash transfers, on intervention fund, on reduction of cost of governance, on energy and power developing compressed natural gas, CNG as an alternative to PMS, and fixing of refineries. We also have technical committees on education, on health, on mass transit. Our position is that government should fast-track action and processes concluded to ensure that the sufferings of Nigerians are ameliorated. Government gave a timeline of 8 weeks, beginning from June 19, and if you do your calculation, 8 weeks is going to end by August 19. So far, we have stayed for more than 1 month and we feel that we are not going at the speed we anticipated. We want the government to fast-track action to ensure that between now and the next 2 weeks, all the committees must have submitted their reports so that the Presidential Steering Committee can conclude its work immediately because we cannot continue to blow big grammar while Nigerians are suffering and people are trekking long distances to work." The TUC president said the elected leaders will need to show examples in view of the harsh economic conditions facing the country. Osifo cited the case of the proposed 40 billion naira and 70 billion naira meant for the purchase of vehicles for National Assembly members and their welfare package, saying, "This is one of those things we feel that as TUC, we must bring to the limelight and do everything possible to ensure government listens to us and that government fast-track. TUC is ready to meet even at midnight and at weekends." He said, "We are ready to work because the plight of Nigerian workers is our great concern because anything that will affect Nigerian workers is what we will fight to correct. Beyond the workers, it is also about the well-being of the masses because we have a lot of Nigerians that are today unemployed. So what we are conversing across these technical committees is that anything that you put in place should have in the basket the issue of alternative and cheaper energy like the CNG, palliatives that will better the lives of the people, and the issue of reduction of cost of governance. We have exceeded the belt holds, while those in government have continuously increased their largesse. They must lead by example. The executive, legislative, and judiciary arms of government must lead from the front and Nigerians will follow them from behind. But a situation they are pushing a lot of Nigerians into poverty line while they are living in opulence. We will not allow that to happen if the National Assembly cannot give clear-cut justification of what they are doing. We will lead the entire Nigerian masses to besiege the chambers because for us, we think that injury to one is an injury to all. Also, Osifo said, "What Nigerians desire right now is for the government at the national and state levels to implement policies that can lead to reduction in cost of living rather than action that will inflate it." Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, to ameliorate the effects of removal of fuel subsidy, Governor Dakpo Abiodun of Ogun State yesterday approved palliatives for civil servants and pensioners in the state. The state government, in a statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, said the measures will take effect from July. Talabi said the palliatives include 10,000 naira cash for each public servant, including pensioners, to enable workers to cope with the economic shocks occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy for a period of 3 months in the first instance. The statement reads, the governor also approved hazard allowance for all health and medical personnel in the state and approval of peculiar allowance for public servants in the state, the immediate release of letters of promotion in respect of 2021 and 2022. He also approved payment of March and April 2023 leave bonuses for public servants in the state and the immediate cash backing for the quarterly payment of gratuities to pensioners. The ministries, departments, and agencies are to work out modalities of ensuring that 20% of their staff strengths are off duty daily to ease the effect of recent increase in fuel price among public servants. We have also approved the commencement of food palliatives to the vulnerable, rice, gari, beans, maize, etc. Also, the Gateway Trading Company has been mandated to establish food distribution outlets across the state and must sell the items at the rate obtainable in the market before removal of fuel subsidy. The state is also establishing a commodity exchange to ensure optimization of current and future investment in the agro-allied sector of the economy, in line with President Tinubu's war on food insecurity. Distribution of fertilizers and other farm inputs to farmers at subsidized and controlled prices. Full implementation of the administration's energy transition strategy with the launch of electric motorbikes and tricycles all over the state. Commencement of conversion of state mass transit buses to CNG, including staff buses and current public transportation buses in circulation, to reduce cost of transportation by charging rates comparable to what obtained before deregulation. The first set is in the final stages and will be introduced to our roads in a matter of days. State governments to support micro, small and medium enterprises through special schemes to boost production capacity and employment generation. Similarly, Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak has approved a multi-sectoral palliative for the state to mitigate the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said on top of the palliatives is cash support of 10,000 naira for every public sector worker in the state, which will begin this month, July, and last until a minimum wage is introduced to enable workers to cope with the economic shock created by the subsidy removal. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.